Over the past month, strange reports began surfacing in corners of the internet where no one looks on purpose. Forums with broken image links and usernames like Third Mirror or 7 Ghosts Deep. They weren't viral posts or trending mysteries, just whispered confessions, all of them eerily similar. They talked about people changing, but not overnight, and not dramatically. People close to them, best friends, partners, siblings, were suddenly different. Not hostile, not dangerous, just wrong. It starts subtly. You're having lunch with your best friend, someone who's been with you through breakups, birthdays, hospital visits, someone you trust enough to share secrets with. They ask if you remember the road trip to Michigan. You blink. That never happened. No, you say. I've never even been to Michigan. They laugh, lightly, but it lingers too long. You're joking, right? You literally cried during that lightning storm. You weren't even in the same state that summer. You're sure of it. But now you feel unsure, because everything else about them is so familiar. Their voice, their rhythm, the way they always tap the steering wheel to the beat of the music. It's them. Except, it's not. More things begin to unravel. They forget a birthday they celebrated last year. They bring up a movie you watched together, only they describe the wrong ending. They use your own phrases before you can say them. They answer questions you haven't asked yet, and when you stare at them too long, you feel watched. Not like someone looking at you, more like someone analyzing you, copying you. You keep brushing it off. You're tired. Work's been rough. Maybe they're tired too. Maybe this is just how long-term relationships feel. Frayed edges, drift. But then one night they say something that makes your skin crawl. You always scratch your left eyebrow when you lie. Did you know that? You didn't know that. You hadn't even lied. You try to talk to someone. You call your sister. You open your mouth to explain, but the words don't come out right. It feels like you're trying to recite a dream you can't fully remember. You end the call with nothing resolved. When you check the call log later, it says the call never happened. So you start writing things down. Dates, details, things only the real version of them would know. You write, he hates pineapple on pizza, only to watch him eat pineapple pizza the next day. And when you confront him, he just says, I've always liked it. Then grins, too wide. You remember reading something years ago, a post that was deleted within minutes of being shared. A warning. They copy the people you trust the most, slowly, subtle mismatches, gaps in memory, reflections that lag by a blink. But they don't know you've noticed until you say it. You remember the post ended with a single instruction. Never ask, what's wrong with you? But one night you do. You're tired. You've kept the fear bottled up for too long. You look at them, your best friend, your lover, your sibling, and you crack. What's wrong with you? They freeze. Mid-chew, mid-breath, mid-smile, and then slowly that smile returns. But now it's practiced, like someone testing out how a human mouth moves. They tilt their head and say calmly, so, you noticed. Something inside you shatters. You try to backpedal, laugh it off, say you're kidding, say you're just stressed. But it's too late. They stand. No rush, no anger, just certainty. They step closer. They don't need to pretend anymore. They start following you, not aggressively, not constantly, but they're always there, on the other side of the room, at the edge of a crowd, just far enough to seem like coincidence. They still say your name, still smile, but that warmth, that presence, gone. They don't kill you. That would be merciful. They eat you, from the inside, not all at once. They take your patterns, your expressions, your memories, your laugh. You feel it happening, the dullness creeping in, like your thoughts are being rerouted through static, like your muscles don't respond right away. You'll look in the mirror one day and see yourself blink too late. You'll hear your own voice on a recording you never made. You'll feel your fingers move, but the will behind them won't be yours. You're still inside, still screaming, still aware. They're wearing you, and they're convincing everyone else that nothing's wrong. If you think you're being paranoid, you're not. If you think they're watching you while you sleep, they are. If you still believe your best friend is your best friend, check again. But not for too long. They can feel when your trust breaks. And when it does, they don't leave. They replace. And they eat what's left. I left the city at 3 a.m. Not because I thought I'd be safe somewhere else, but because I knew if I stayed, I wouldn't be me for much longer. I didn't have a destination. I just drove. Farther and farther from the people who used to feel familiar, the ones who smiled too long, who held eye contact like they were trying to reach through me. They still call me by my name, still wave, still say, "I love you." But I can't shake the feeling that behind those words, something's studying me, something waiting for a signal to step in. I found a roadside motel at the edge of nowhere, faded paint, no front desk, just a drop box for cash and keys. I took room 9, no mirrors, no working TV. But the night I checked in, I noticed something strange. A dusty, old tabletop radio on the nightstand. Antique, covered in cobwebs, not plugged in. But at exactly 2:11 a.m. it turned itself on. There was no station, no music, just a low, rhythmic hum, like breathing, and beneath it faint whispers, almost too quiet to hear. The next night I turned the dial myself, just static, until right around the 83, 7 mark, I heard a voice, not loud, not clear, but real. "Is this thing working?" I froze. Hey, can you hear me?" The voice was ragged, like someone talking through a broken speaker underwater. Listen very closely." I sat on the edge of the bed. I didn't blink. I didn't breathe. "This is extremely important. This music. Listen to me now. You must. We need your help." There was no music, just the hum. And now, a clicking noise like teeth tapping glass. "It's bigger than you think. This world is not real. You are not real. The real you is still sleeping." My skin went cold. The hum stopped. "You must wake up. And when you do, you'll find us. We'll tell you everything." I whispered. "Where?" The voice answered. "We can't talk long. They're listening. They're watching. They will remove anything that gets in their way." The clicking got louder, closer. "Meet us. On Corby." And then, silence. I played the frequency again and again. Nothing. Just noise. Like it had never happened. But the name Corby wouldn't leave my head. It started showing up in places I didn't expect. On a receipt in my glove box. "Thank you for shopping. Corby location 12. Scribbled on a page of my old notebook, in handwriting that wasn't mine. In a dream, spelled out in blinking red letters on a highway sign that led nowhere. That was 3 days ago. Since then, things have escalated. My reflection stopped syncing with me. I caught it smiling before I did, mouthing words I hadn't spoken yet. Sometimes I hear footsteps in the room even when I'm completely still. Shadows linger longer than they should. And last night, I saw someone standing just outside my motel window. It was me, wearing my jacket, same face, same scar above the eyebrow. It waved and smiled too wide. They're almost done. I can feel it. Like they've carved out a space inside me and are waiting to step in. I'm forgetting things I should remember. I almost called myself the wrong name this morning. And when I check my phone, there are texts I don't remember writing. Photos with people I've never met. Videos of me saying things I don't recall ever saying. One video ended with me looking into the camera and whispering, "Don't resist. You'll feel better once it's done." I don't know what's real anymore, but I know this. You're being watched too. If someone close to you recalls a memory you never shared, finishes your sentence before you thought it, starts acting just a little too perfect, be careful. Do not confront them. Do not accuse them. And above all, do not ask, "What's wrong with you?" That's the key. The question that confirms you know. And once they know you know, they don't need to pretend anymore. They don't kill you. They replace you. They become you. They crawl inside, fill in the cracks of your identity, smooth over what makes you you. And when it's done, you'll still be there, watching, as your hands move without permission, as your voice echoes words you didn't choose, and they will wear your skin, smile your smile, and eat what's left while it still twitches. So if you're hearing the signal, if this message reaches you intact, there's still a chance. You have to find the source. You have to go where they can't follow, where the copy breaks. Corby. That's where the real signal comes through, where the illusion falters, where people like us can wake up. If you're still real, find us. Before you forget who you are, before they finish building you from the inside out, before your reflection waves back on its own. We're waiting, And we remember you, but not for long.